It's Bruising Your Ice Podcast, and I'm back with another episode for the podcast. And so, this is the day after the day of reckoning. Great fight card. We had Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker, Anthony Joshua versus Otto Wallen, Demetrius Bivol had a championship fight with a title on the line. A couple of other fights on that card. Excellent card. Great card. Great boxing event in the Sudan. They took a page out of WrestleMania book. I remember speaking about that in one of my recent videos about the WWE and how boxing could use that format that a writer from Yahoo Sports actually wrote that article pertaining to that specific sporting event, and we got that sporting event yesterday with Wilder and Joshua all on the same card. Bill did his thing; he got a win. Joseph Parker was probably the bright spot in that evening's bout yesterday against the bronze bomber, Deontay Wilder. Showed a lot of grit, showed a lot of heart. And he took away Wilder's right hand. And he also took a couple of right hands from Wilder and did not fall. I thought Wilder would get him out of there in the later rounds. I did feel like Joseph Parker was a game opponent, but he proved me wrong by winning this fight. I believe he won all 12 rounds. And Joseph Parker definitely had Wilder hurt at a point in that fight. And let's see what Wilder does. It's back to the drawing board for Wilder. He wasn't successful, but I do look forward to seeing him again in the near future if he doesn't decide to retire. I don't think he wants to retire on that kind of a note, so we will see what's in the future for Wilder. I still think Wilder is a guy that we want to see, we want to watch. He just had to be perfect for a little while, like he always said, but a guy had to be perfect all 12 rounds against him to win. And Joseph Parker was perfect, nearly perfect all 12 rounds, and he got the win. That was a great win for Joseph Parker. A statement win, nevertheless. Joseph Parker is a great fighter. I think he's gotten back to Joseph Parker that we once seen and know before the champion. He had 2 tough losses, I believe, to Joe Joyce. And he bounced back after that. And it's good to see him back in the win column. I do think Wilder will be back and be better next time around. Anthony Joshua, he basically snatched Otto Wallen's soul. I believe he made him quit in the corner in round 5. So that was a great win for AJ. Great confidence booster for him. AJ says he still wants the Wilder fight, so we will see if the Wilder and AJ fight will happen in the Saudis sometime in 2024. Will AJ fight the winner of Tyson Fury and Usyk? I think that would probably be next, that he would fight the winner of Usyk and Fury and try to get his titles back. That winner of Usyk and Fury, Tyson Fury didn't look too good his last fight against an MMA fighter, and Francis dropped him and everything. I do feel like Francis won that fight against Tyson Fury, but the politics of boxing allowed Tyson Fury to win that fight. I don't really want to get into that because that's just horrible that Francis got robbed in a pro boxing bout where he clearly beat Tyson Fury and dropped him. Those things. Tyson Fury did not look anything of he didn't look impressive. He just didn't look impressive at all. He looked the opposite of that. He looked flat. Wasn't impressed with him. It was a horrible performance. It was tasteless. And you don't expect a WBC champion to perform like that against a guy who's an MMA fighter. Not saying that Francis isn't talented, because we know what Francis has done in MMA, and I believe he's in the PFL now. and he's going to go on and do great things in the PFL. We know he hits like a F-150. Um, the guy's talented, man, and Mike Tyson got him right. And if he wants to pursue boxing, I think Mike Tyson will be the guy to get Francis fully acclimated into the sport if boxing is what he wants to do. And I believe Francis will be pretty good at boxing. I believe he'll be a threat with the right toolage and the right craftsmanship and the right trainer in his corner, that he can be a problem in the heavyweight division if he does decide to box instead of go to the PFL. But I think he's gonna go to the PFL and make a great name for himself there and be a champion in the PFL too. Um, it just was a great Saturday. Great event. Can't be mad. Boxing has been delivering on all cylinders so far. The Devin Haney and Regis Prograis fight was amazing. I thought it was gonna be a little bit more challenging, but Devin Haney went in there and did what he had to do against Regis Prograis. He basically took away what Regis Prograis does best, and did what Devin Haney does best. He did rehydrate to, I believe, what he was, 165 or some shit like that during fight night. But Devin Haney's got a bright future. Hopefully him and Ryan Garcia fight next. Ryan Garcia wants that fight. I do think that Ryan really wanted the Rolly fight. This way he would be able to bring a title to the table in the Devin Haney fight. But nevertheless, I believe Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney will do great numbers on the pay-per-view. Ryan Garcia definitely has star power behind him. Definitely gonna bring attraction. And then say you do it in San Francisco again, where Devin Haney is from, his hometown. That brings out all of his fans from that area and his home base. And E40 and those guys are gonna back Devin Haney, being that he's from the Bay Area. And Ryan Garcia is gonna bring his fans that's gonna travel. And that would be a hell of a fight to do in San Fran again. Or even Vegas. I think Vegas would be a good spot for it too. But Devin Haney said he would love to have another homecoming, so I think that's gonna be on our docket next. Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez is a great fight to be made. Unify. It'll be a unification fight. Haney has a belt. Teo has a belt. I believe he also has the Ring Magazine belt too. Teofimo, when he beat Josh Taylor. So you can go that route. Or does Devin Haney go up to 147, fight somebody at 147, maybe Boots, and try to get a belt, try to get that belt off of Boots, being that Boots is now the I think the IBF champion or WBO champion. One of them belts Boots have. I think it's WBO. They stripped Crawford of that belt, but I think Crawford's going to 154 anyway to fight EJ whenever EJ is ready to fight. So I believe Crawford's going to drop those belts eventually, and that division will be Boots' division. Jerome Boots Ennis will own the 147-pound division, because who else is in that division once, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence is leaving that division, so who else is in that division? Who else is the major player at 147? I don't think it's really too many guys left around at 147 to be a major player in that division. What is it? Keith Thurman, who's pretty much washed up and maybe done. I don't even think Keith Thurman can make 147 anymore. I think Keith Thurman is a 154-pound guy now. Even if I don't even know if Keith Thurman wants to fight again from the looks of things. Who else is there? Is Adrian Broner even still there at 147? I mean, it's Boots in his division to own until he decides to move up. I believe 154 is where all the work is at right now. You have Charlo, if his boxing career is still alive and not over with his out the ring situation. Hopefully, he will still be a player at 154 and still will be able to box. He's a talented fighter, among other things that's going on in his personal world. But you got Charlo at 54. You have Zook. You have Crawford. You have Spence. Um, I believe Fedora. 154-pound class division, a stacked division, and that's where all the heat is at. Just like 140 is where all the heat is at right now. So those two divisions is where all the heat is at. Um, let's see what happens at 168. That can be a division that's going to heat up. You know, Canelo is there. I believe he's undisputed there. Is he undisputed there? Or does David Benavidez have? I think he's undisputed. Or David Benavidez had the last piece of the puzzle or something like that at 168. So but I think Canelo is undisputed at one of those weight classes. I believe it's 168. I don't want to lie, but David Benavidez is waiting for his shot, and see what happens. Let's see if Jamal Charlo moves up to 168, make things interesting, and fight Canelo for some belts. You know, a lot of things can happen. 160 is rather quiet. 168, you know, Jamal Charlo can get that smoke with Caleb Plant. That'd be a good fight to make too. I believe Demetrius Andrade goes back down to 160 and kind of take over that division at 160. Or we can see Boo Boo and Charlo for that strap. There's a lot of fights to be made. See what Tank Davis is willing to do, or what he's going to do. Is he going to fight at 135 or 140? And if he's going to stay at 135, he's going to make some noise at 135 and grab some belts at 135. You know, all the belts is up for grabs right now. Shakur is going to be in the mix for one of those belts that Devin Haney dropped. Maybe he'll fight for some vacay belts against other people. I don't know. I mean, 135 is an interesting weight class too. Waiting to see what's going to happen with that. And also what Lomachenko is going to do, because Lomachenko could be a major player at 135 along with Shakur Stevenson. And or if Loma decides to go back down to 130 and get busy there, we know 130 was where Loma was at his best. I believe that weight division where Loma really dominated. But I think Loma could make noise at 135 and become a major player again. I don't know if Shakur is a guy he wants to fight or not, but there's fights to be made at 135. Frank Martin is there. Like I said, Tank Davis is there. And I don't know how long Shakur was going to be at 135. I would suspect that Shakur will move up to 140 sooner rather than later. You know, these guys are young guys, 24, I think 25. So, you know, body's constantly growing. And I believe Shakur is going to be out of that division soon. I mean, he's gonna be killing himself to make 135, where he could be at 140 and make 140 a little more comfortable than 135. Devin Haney, I believe he can go up to as far as 160 in his career because Devin Haney's just a big guy, you know, about 5'8", 5'9". So yeah, he can definitely fight probably. I think 160 will probably be his max by the time he decides to hang up the gloves. He's only 24, 25 years old himself. Teofimo, smaller guy. I think 140, maybe 147 will be T.O. max. I can't see T.O. getting too busy at 154. I think those guys up there might be a little too big, too fast, too strong. Even though we know T.O. has all the capability of being great. It's just, is he willing to make those fights? I mean, and the thing is, what's going on with Rolly Ramirez, man? Do Rolly even want to fight anymore at 140? He has the belt. There's no need for him to hold that belt hostage. Either he needs to defend that belt against somebody or drop the belt and ride off into the sunset and do whatever it is that he wants to do. If it's not boxing anymore, because there seems to be no desire to fight. I mean, to me, he didn't win the fight against the senior citizen boxer who put him on his ass. And I'm just saying, that's my opinion. He didn't win that fight. Me personally, I don't think he won that fight. But I'm gonna leave that at that. But Rolly need to get in there with somebody at 140. Let's make this weight class interesting. There's a lot of names there. There's a lot of firepower. There's a lot of fights to be made. Let's make the fights and let the best man win. Let the chips fall where it may. Let the best man win. Win at 140. If Devin Haney's going to be undisputed at 140, then so be it. If it's going to be Teofimo, then so be it. Hell, if it's gonna be Ryan Garcia, then so be it. The thing about Ryan that I like is that he's willing to get in there and fight these guys, man. And once he improves on his defense a little bit more, if he wants to learn the Philly shell, he needs to go to the proper guy and get taught the Philly shell. He needs to go to Floyd Mayweather and Floyd Mayweather Senior and really work on that Philly shell and get the rolling and things properly. Because if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it right. You gotta do it properly. You gotta make sure you execute it the right way. It should be executed. What he was doing, that's not the right way to execute that. Um, and if he's not gonna do it right, he needs to listen to Derrick James and just do his basic um defensive guard. And he needs to stop pulling back with his chin up too. He needs to learn how to, use his lateral movement. You know, turn in and turn out. Pivot in, pivot out. He needs to know how to pivot out. Get from left to right, pivot, and do those things. And then once Ryan gets those things down, he would be a very well-rounded fighter, man. He has everything else going for him. Just got to tweak certain things, and once he tweaks those things, Ryan Garcia can be a major threat to anybody. He definitely earned my respect by getting in the ring with Tank. He earned my respect, man, and whether he was ready for that fight or not, he definitely earned my respect. And that's all you could do is give a guy his kudos for doing certain things. He lost his oath, and that hasn't deterred him from wanting to do and be better and make the right fights and make the fights happen. Let's just see if him and Devin gets it on, man. And if they do get it on, it's gonna be fireworks. And let's just see, because these guys have got it busy. They have got busy in the amateurs, and the amateurs and the pros is two different things. So let's see. Let's see if he can really get in there and push Haney to the brink, and do things that other guys weren't able to do against Devin Haney, and actually beat Devin Haney. That remains to be seen. But we shall see. We shall see. So let's talk about the playing tournament. I've been going for a minute, so let's talk about it. How do you guys feel about the playing tournament? Was it a success or was it a bust? As you know, the Lakers won the inaugural playing tournament. They got the playing tournament championship trophy and stuff of that nature, and LeBron James was the MVP of that playing tournament or in-season tournament. I'm sorry, not playing tournament. That's the thing they do at the end of the year. In-season tournament. The in-season playing tournament. That's what it is to me. So LeBron is the first player to win it. Him and the Lakers. All right. The clarification. I kind of understand it, but I don't understand the concept of it, right? But it was very competitive. From what I watched, it was very competitive. I think I can do it again for next season. It was definitely very competitive. I appreciate how it was done. Brought a new element to the game. Cool uniforms, cool floor designs was cool, and it brought this different atmosphere to the game of basketball. So I would deem it as a success. I think it would be good for the NBA going forward to continue. I think this year was a pretty good year for it. I mean, like I said, it was very competitive. When they did play, you just had to pay attention to the calendar, and I just need to get a little bit more of a clearer understanding of it and the format and what keeps teams going, and besides winning, of course, and what kicks teams out. I think it's a point structure too. A lot that goes along with the wins, right? When you win and you get a certain amount of points by the way you win. I'm guessing that determines where you're at in seeding. I know if you lose, you're not going to be considered a top seed or whatever. And then you have, the knockout round where one win and that's it and stuff like that. So again, this is a lot of research I got to be done on my part for the part of playing tournament and understanding the ground rules of it. So I would do that digging, and yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I think it's a pretty cool tournament. It was a success in my opinion. And I can't wait to see it happen again. But now, we're gearing up in the regular season, heading into January. Christmas Day games is going to be airing tomorrow. Can't wait for that. So I should be back tomorrow after those games conclude. Should have a video that night, or if not that night, then next day I will have a video. But I think I'm gonna do it the same day. You know, to anybody that celebrate these holidays, happy Christmas Eve to you guys. Hope you're enjoying your time with your loved ones and your family. For those who celebrate, um, me, no, I don't, believe in these holidays, anymore. But to those who celebrate them, enjoy your time, enjoy, your family and whatever else you decide to do. You know, like, comment, subscribe as always. Peace and love. Breezy on Ice podcast, and Breezy out.